ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Gita, chapter 1, text number 25. भीष्मद्रोण प्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च मैक्षितम् उवाच पार्थ पश्येतान् समवेतान् कुरुन्नतिः. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace Sri Bhakti and Swami Sri Prabhupada. Actually, today we will read until sloka number 28 because they all go together. Hare Krishna. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here. Purport. As a super soul of all living entities, Lord Krishna could understand what was going on in the mind of Arjuna. The use of word Rishikesha in this connection indicates that he knew everything. And the word Partha, or the son of Kunti or Pritha, is also similarly significant in reference to Arjuna. As a friend, he wanted to inform Arjuna that because Arjuna was the son of Pritha, the sister of his own father Vasudeva, he had agreed to be the charioteer of Arjuna. Now, what did Krishna mean when he told Arjuna to behold the cruise? Did Arjuna want to stop there and not fight? Krishna never expected such things from the son of his aunt Pritha. The mind of Arjuna was thus predicted by the Lord in a friendly joking. 26. Tatrapasya sitan partan pitam mahan acharyan matulan vrittan putran pautran shikam stataha swasutan suhridaschaiva senaya rupayorapi. There, Arjuna could see within the midst of the army of both the parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his father-in-laws and well-wisher. On the battlefield of on the battlefield, Arjuna could see all these kinds of relatives. He could see persons like Bhurishwara, who were his father's contemporaries, grandfather Bhishma and Somadatta, teachers like Dronacharya and Kripacharya, maternal uncles like Salya and Shakuni, brothers like Duryodhana, sons like Lakshmana, friends like Ashwadhama, well-wishers like Kritavarma. He could see all also the armies which contained many of his friends. This is on the other side. Tan samakyasya sa kaunteya sarvan bandhunnavasthitan kripaya paraya visto visiddhan nidam abravit. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. Now Arjuna has seen the situation. Now he is responding. Up until these three slokas were told by Sanjaya, 25, 26, and 27. Sanjaya is watching and then he's telling. Now Arjuna is speaking. This is his response after seeing Bhishma and all the other side. Bhishma, Drona, Pramukadaha. Arjuna Uvacha Drishtveman Swajanam Krishna Yuyutsam Samupastitam Siddhanti Mama Gatrani Mukam Cha Parisusyati. Arjuna said, please hear this very attentively. My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Any man who has genuine devotion to the Lord has all the good qualities which are found in godly persons or in the demigods. Whereas the non devotees, however advanced he may be in the material qualifications by education and culture, lacks in godly qualities. As such, Arjuna, just after seeing his kinsmen, friends, and relatives from the battlefield, was at once overwhelmed by compassion for them who had so dedicated to fight among themselves. Arjuna, just after seeing his kinsmen, friends, relatives on the battlefield, was at once overwhelmed by compassion for them who had so decided to fight among themselves. As far as his soldiers were concerned, he was sympathetic from the beginning, but he felt compassion even for the soldiers of the opposite party, foreseeing their imminent death. And while he was so thinking, the limbs of his body began to quiver, and his mouth became dry. He was more or less astonished as to see their fighting spirit. Practically, the whole community, all blood relatives of Arjuna, had come to fight with him. This overwhelmed a kind devotee like Arjuna. Although it is not mentioned here, still one can easily imagine that not only were Arjuna's bodily limbs quivering and his mouth drying up, but he was also crying out of compassion. Such symptoms in Arjuna were not due to weakness but his soft heartedness. A characteristic of a pure devotee of the Lord, it is said, Yashyasi Bhakti Bhagavata Kinchana Sarvair Samasta Suraha Haro Bhaktasya Kuto Mahatguna Manorat Pratena Siddhavato Vahi. One who has unflinching devotion to the personality of Godhead has all the good qualities of the demigods, but one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only material qualification that are of little value. This is because he is hovering on the mental plane and is certain to be attracted by the glaring material energy. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकधामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत श्री गदाधरा शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गं लङ्गायते गिरिं कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणम् हरे. It's a very interesting, very interesting episode in the discussion because this is the placeholder where all the Gita, all the discussion of Gita began. What is a placeholder? Arjuna's non-acceptable state of consciousness. Now, why am I saying non-acceptable state of consciousness? Means this is not Krishna is expecting. Anything which the Lord is not expecting, that is non-acceptable state of consciousness. That means doesn't mean that Lord doesn't know. No, Lord knows everything. But here the Lord doesn't want Arjuna to stay in that consciousness. That's why he's giving this truth to Arjuna. And then he knows every jiva in this world will go through similar shape, in similar consciousness or issues in their life through some way, shape, or form. So these issues sometimes lead to depression. These issues sometimes lead to suicide. These issues sometimes lead to causing harm to others. For example, if the jiva is frustrated, he will cause harm to himself or he will cause harm to others. He will cause harm to others when he is strong, when he feels superior, when he feels the controller. He feels he harms himself when he feels he is low. And this actually leads to depression, eventually leads to suicide of a particular person. That means devotees, everything is actually driven through consciousness only. Here, now another, coming back to 26, 25. Bhishma Drona Pramukataha. That means Arjuna told Krishna that Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Radam Sthapitam Achyutaha. We discussed that, right? Shloka number 21 and 22. We discussed. And then Sanjay is confirming to the Lord Sanjay is confirming to Dhritarashtra that Krishna heard the words of Arjuna, and then now Krishna is taking the battlefield to the center. He's taking the chariot to the center of the battlefield. That is all being done. Now it is up to Krishna where he will be taking Arjuna and then showing him. Now Arjuna, as a jiva, he requested the Lord, please take me there. Likewise, we also request the Lord through prayers. We request the spiritual master through prayers. We request acharyas through prayers. Through prayers, what do we do? Can you please help me in this? Then, just like Arjuna is telling to Lord personally, we tell it through the prayer. Now, through that prayer, it can be accepted or not accepted. Just like here, Krishna could have taken Arjuna to the center of the battlefield, or he could have just said that no, I will not take you to the center of the battlefield. Just like Arjuna has independence to ask, likewise Krishna has also independence. Actually, Krishna's independence is superior, supermost, superlative. Arjuna or any jiva in this world is very limited. So through that limited understanding, Arjuna is asking a question, asking a request. It's not a question, he's requesting Krishna, can you please take me to the center of the battlefield? Now Krishna could have rejected outrightly, but he did not reject, but he took it to the center of the battlefield. But where he took it, that is in the hands of the Lord. For example, just like you prayed to the Lord. You prayed to the Lord, my dear Lord, please give me a green card. I'm just giving an example. I know you'll not pray, but I'm just giving an example. My dear Lord, please give me a green card. Okay. And then it is in the hands of the Lord whether to give green card or not, whether to move the dates or not, whether to give us a another standard of living in the country of America. Right? So that is up to the Lord whether he has to sanction or not. Just like that is up to the Lord whether he has to take Arjuna to the center of the battlefield or not. Now, where Arjuna has to be taken, that is also very important to understand. Now, Krishna could have taken Arjuna to anywhere, but he took wherever Arjuna, wherever the problem is there within Arjuna, he knows where the problem is. He took exactly there itself. Just like a father, he wants to teach his child. The child doesn't know how to ride the cycle. Your father says, you know what, let us take the other road today. Why? Because the father is putting in a difficult state. Through that difficulty, the child will learn how to, ride the bike or the cycle. Now that is the itcha or the desire or the choice which which the father has on his son, because son is dependent on the father. Because exactly Arjuna is dependent on Krishna. Now Duryodhana is also another child of the Lord. He is no different. He is also part and parcel of the Lord. But that Duryodhana is a what kind of a child? Is a naughty child. He doesn't want to hear. It's like a naughty child doesn't want to listen from the father. The father has another plan for that child. Even though the child is not hearing, that doesn't mean that father will leave the child. No, the father will never leave the child. Because out of that responsibility, he will never leave the child. Likewise, Krishna, he will never leave the jiva. Even though the jiva doesn't want to take Krishna consciousness, he will not leave the jiva. That means the Lord will intercept in some other shape or form in this life or the next life or 100 lives after. Finally, the jiva has to come to this plane. There's no other option for him. Just like if a person is in the jail, today or tomorrow he has to be sentenced. He's given that sentenced or whatever. Today or tomorrow he has to go through that. There is no exception out of it. Cannot come out of it. Likewise, Jiva, today or tomorrow he should go back home, back to Godhead. If he goes today, it's better. If he goes tomorrow, that's his will, that's his wish, that's his desire. He can go into the next lifetime also. He can go in this lifetime also. He can go next lifetime, next lifetime. He can postpone it. He can do whatever he wants because he has his choice. Now, as Arjuna requested Krishna, please take me to the center. Now it is It is a choice of Krishna to take Arjuna where he wants. Dear devotees, even though we pray materially to the Lord, it's like that green card example. Now, Lord knows what to give, how to give, when to give, where to give. So, He will give according to that. That's why the prayer should be like this. My dear Lord, I'm praying this, but you do what is best to me. I don't know what is best to me. You do what is best to me. Because you are the master now. You are the control. You are the father now. If I say you are the father, that means I should be dependent on you. That I should understand everything what I'm supposed to do. If I do not understand, then what I do, I depend on you. Likewise, the Jiva will never understand how this world is working, how this world is created, how things are coming like this, how karma is working, why my child is not listening or why my wife is not listening. We might not know all those details, but the root thing we should know. Oh, my dear Lord, if I connect to you, to the root, through the roots, then everything is taken care. Likewise, here Arjuna, as he has a relationship with the Lord, he is asking, please show me, take me to the center because I want to see the other side. Now, Krishna took him exactly where he doesn't want to see, what he doesn't want to see. Arjuna doesn't want to see these things, but Krishna showed him that only. Likewise, the Jiva doesn't want to get difficulties. Any one of us here, do we want to have problems in our life? Do we want to have difficulties in our life? Do we want to have relationship problems? Do we want to have this problem, that problem? No, we don't want to have those. But those are coming. Why they are coming? That means, is somebody intervening? Yes, somebody is intervening in this. Please understand. Likewise, the jiva is always in that state. He doesn't want that, but he gets it. Likewise, Arjuna doesn't want to see that, but Krishna gives it. Likewise, we also doesn't want to see, but we will be given those things. That's why, who is a devotee? A devotee is a person who accepts everything, what comes in his life. Everything. Everything means everything, dear devotee. A lot of people, they have this understanding that if I get profits, or if I get some name, fame, or if I get some advancement in whatever I'm doing, then there is presence of Krishna. Oh, thank you, Krishna. Definitely. You see, this is my realization. Because Krishna gave me everything. This is a realization. But we don't understand that if this is realization, then how about the problems? No, Arjuna could also perceive, could also tell that, right? What Arjuna could have told? Arjuna could have told, oh Krishna, why have you given me these problems? He'll tell actually. He'll speak about that also. That actually shows his very simple and honest heart. He's telling, he's expressing his heart. I remember recently, not recently, yesterday itself. A devotee, she's a nice girl. She's like a 21 or 22, practicing nicely. She has an exam today. She had to study until 1 or 1:30. You know how the last day exams would, like, the children would study at the last days. That's okay, And we're not more into how we need to study more and then become big persons. I'm telling the importance. She studied until 1:30. Then she woke up in the morning by 4:15. She took bath, came to Mangalarti. She attended the Mangalarti. Then she sat for the class for about 1 hour. Then I was watching her. She was sleeping. Then I was asking after the class, what's happening? Why are you sleeping? And this is what she said. I said, that is good. You slept at 1:30, but still you woke up by 4:15, 4:30. Why? Simply to please our Acharya, simply to please the spiritual master, simply to please the Lord. This is nice. And she wrote the exam and then she did service also. Coming in the morning, she's working on another service. She did that service, she wrote her exam, and then again she came back. Now she went to the farm doing service there. So these children like 21, 22 years, they do not have any boyfriends, they do not have this, that in their life, they do not have any so-called socialism of this world. They're protected. They're protected by the teachings of the Acharya, they're protected by the association of the spiritual master. They're having good time in practicing Krishna consciousness. Now, if tomorrow if a child comes and proposes to that particular girl, she'll outrightly reject him. Why? She knows which is real thing. What is real thing? Real thing is bhakti. Bhakti has to be done, nothing else. Now, what is this? She has selected right choices at right moment. For example, let's say you're investing in the market or somewhere. If you select right choices, then you'll get the result. For example, you studied at the right time, you'll get good results. Obviously, if you did not study at right time, you'll not get good results. Right? So selecting that right choices at that right time, at that right moment yields what? Yields conviction in the process. I'm not saying that exactly one should do like this. That is a situation in her life. Now we will have some other situations. Now we need to see what situations we have in our life. And then according to that, we should select just like Arjuna selected. No, he really requested because he's in his heart and heart, he felt he really wanted to see whom he is fighting with. This is also an indication showing how Arjuna is very personal. These are his qualities, dear devotee. These are pure soul. This is his qualities. The qualities of Arjuna. Why is he very personal? Because he really wants to see who the other side are. Who am I fighting with? That means he really feels their presence. This is an indication of personalism. That means he's giving the importance to the other person. How do we know that whether we have the quality of personalism or not? For example, if the other person is speaking, if we have a quality of a personalism, we will actually hear what is speaking. Generally, what happens is if two persons are speaking, if one person is speaking, the other person want to speak or show or tell something, but he will not hear what he is speaking because he already has some framework in his mind. He wants to express that. He will not give importance to the person who is actually speaking. Generally, we see this between child and an adult. When children are speaking, adults, they will not give the much importance to that. They will say, "Oh, no, just keep quiet, we don't have to do that, just stay away from this. Go away from kitchen, stay somewhere else." Don't we see that their heart will be dejected through that? Because the jiva doesn't care, because jiva gives importance according to the situations and circumstances. For example, if a person is a big person, then this jiva will become very humble. Oh, Prabhu, you are great. You came here. It's wonderful. Because for him, this person is superior. But with children, we don't have to behave, no, oh, you are great. But the attitude which I'm telling, the attitude should not be put them aside. The attitude of putting them aside is impersonal. That means you are not giving importance to that person. What is personalism? Personalism is actually giving the importance to that person, just like Arjuna is actually doing this here. He really wanted to see who the other sides are, who the personalities are. Then Sanjay is telling his family members are there, his friends are there, relatives are there, kinsmen, so many, everyone. And then now Krishna has kept Arjuna in a state which is kind of a greatest problem in all of his life. Now, Pandavas faced difficulties before, but not this kind of a difficulty. This is something because Krishna will test at the pinnacle. Let's say you are practicing sincerely for 10, 15, 20 years. Krishna will test it after 20 years. That's because what is the point of testing him during the first year? Anyhow, he will fail. He will test after 20 years of practice. That to practice of what? Daily doing Shravana Kirtana, daily understanding, daily taking the association. After 20 years, he will do the test, not now. And the test will also be very pinnacle, highest. Then if he pass the test, then the Lord will be pleased with the Jiva. Then he understands, yes, 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 he really wants Krishna conscious. Then he will give test after test after test. That's why if you see in devotee's life, especially if you see the life of Srila Prabhupada, all the tests came, some tests, they came all together. Please understand. He went through so many difficulties. But some tests, they all came together. Just like in America, it's difficulty after difficulty, difficulty after difficulty. It's like going to America also very difficult. Just like to print those magazines, very difficult. That period of 2, 3 years was very, very difficult for Srila Prabhupada. He had no money, nothing to eat. Nobody is giving any donation. This is very difficult. Srila is unable to print. He has to review. He has to do everything. And then that person, that printer person will tell, no, I will not print because you're not giving me money. Now, where does he go? Who will give him money? But he did not leave. Because that's what he did. That's what he did all through his life. Because he sincerely practiced. He sincerely did everything. He showed as an example that how we should lead our life. See exactly these things in my spiritual master's life. Exactly, exactly. So many difficulties. We all know if he leaves the community will shatter within a moment. Within 1 month, it will shatter everything. Because personality should be there. Otherwise, it's difficult. Otherwise, how everything has to be managed? The children has to be taken care, women has to be taken care, elderly people has to be taken care, brahmanas has to be taken care, cows has to be taken care, overall community has to be taken care, their moral has to be taken care, their livelihood, their salary, their everything has to be taken care. It's not an easy thing. Maintaining all of that, will that be easy? It's not easy. That's why to take responsibility is not an easy thing. It's a difficult thing. See, to speak on the dais, oh, everything is great, Krishna consciousness, this, that, so many wonderful words. You can use wonderful language. But the responsibility is important, na? I'm there for you. That should be given, right? That should be given to the personalities who are coming. Don't worry, I'm there. If you have any problem, please tell. That conviction should be given, right, to the other person. Then only he'll open the heart. Otherwise, how will he open the heart? If he's feeling insecure, then will he open the heart? It's just like your example, just like the same thing. Here, if Arjuna would have felt insecure with Krishna, do you think Arjuna would have asked Krishna to take me to the center of the battlefield? He wouldn't. If Arjuna doesn't have a relationship with the Lord, if he's not feeling secured with the Lord, do you think that Arjuna would have asked that question? Do you think that the discussion would have come? No. Duryodhana is not asking because he doesn't feel that relation. He's seeing Krishna as a side person. Even though everyone is telling, no, he is not a normal person, you have to develop a relationship with him that is beneficial for you. Even though understanding all of that, still is going the sideways. Just like the conditioned soul in this world, they go sideways. They do not come into the realm of the Lord. They do not accept him. They do not take his teachings to the core of the heart. Why? Because the mentality of that Jiva is different. The mentality of Arjuna is what? It's totally different. That is why the Lord is teaching to that personalities whose mentality is actually correct. Please understand. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not that kind of a person. Do you see that Jaga and Mother mentals are like Arjuna? Do you see the gulf of difference there? What is the same Krishna only? But his manifestation is different. Please understand this. Here, Krishna did not speak a word up until Arjuna responded or concluded or came to that state of Karpanya dosha. But Jaga and Mother, did they surrender to the Lord before Lord came and then gave him the greatest benediction of Krishna Prem? No. It is a mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. It is his magnanimity. He went there. Even though he was abused, even though he was being hurt physically, mentally, everything, still he went there. Still he gave that mercy. Because he understood if these personalities are getting the mercy, then everyone will turn towards the side of Lord Chaitanya. Now that was intention because his intention is what? His intention was to move, was to change everyone's consciousness and turn them toward Chaitanya, Chaitanya, Gaura Sundar. Because that is the only way. Because there's no Arjunas here anymore. Please understand. By seeing the other person, oh, we will be sad, we will be dejected. No one has those qualities. Those are the qualities of Arjuna. We have the qualities of Jagai and Madai, not the qualities of Arjuna. Because Arjuna is what? Is actually. That is why Krishna is giving the teachings to Arjuna, and then the personalities who actually aspire to that state, they can understand this Gita. That is the whole point Srila Prabhupada is trying to reiterate again and again. Prabhupada is giving stressing more on this. Why? Cultivate the consciousness of Arjuna, cultivate the consciousness of Arjuna, see through the eyes of Arjuna, try to cultivate his consciousness. Try to be honest. Why? Because he knows if a sadhaka comes to that state, he will easily understand the principles of Gita because these are all sukshma. Sukshma is subtle, subtle elements. To understand subtle elements, one should require there are certain requirements to understand that. See, in India, there is a requirement. Wherever you go, you need to have an Aadhaar card. Just like you need SSI in America. We need to have an Aadhaar card. Aadhaar card, PAN card, it should be there. So it is mandate wherever you go. If you open up a bank account, you need to have that. It's a requirement because what is that Aadhaar? What is that? It is showing your identity. Oh, this 12 digit number belongs to so and so person. This so and so person remember stays here. This is his address and this is a PAN. This will be used for tax filing and all that stuff because this is the identity of that person. Likewise, the attitude to understand Gita is the attitude of Arjuna. That means the sadhaka should become more and more simple, soft hearted. Please understand the devotees. Arjuna who is a Kshatriya, he is becoming a soft hearted person. It's not an ordinary thing. It's not a joke, dear devotees. It's like complete turn from northern hemisphere to southern hemisphere. Complete turn from like America to India. You see gulf of difference, right? Staying in America and then staying in a village in India. Don't we see a difference? What is gulf of? I see so much difference. So a lot of gulf of difference. This is contrasting things. No, this is exactly happening, right? That means the Arjuna is actually a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means what? Arya is powerful. If anyone is against Dharma, he'll immediately cut off his head. That kind of a person is Arjuna. Now that Arjuna is becoming soft-hearted person. That is the reason why Lord is actually so surprised. He knows he knows the heart of Arjuna. Then Lord says, Asoshan, Anvasoshan, Pragnavadan Subhashan. Are Arjuna, I'm not expecting this from you. Klaibyamma Samakam Partha. In the second chapter, Krishna will open his heart. He'll say, Are Arjuna, kya ho raha hai? What are you doing here? What's happening here? Because he's not expecting. It's a complete turn. See, it's a complete turn from northern to southern hemisphere, from America to India. Complete turn. Please understand. This is this is the attitude which a sadhaka has to cultivate. Dear devotee, we should aspire for the consciousness of Arjuna, because that is required for us. Now, what's happening next? Bhishmadona Pramukataha. That is what the Lord is actually putting Arjuna in one from one state to the other state. That means this is see another important aspect. Now, how did Arjuna change from northern to southern? Complete consciousness turn. From a Kshatriya, I was ready to devour anyone who's against Dharma. No, that person is completely changing his consciousness. How? Because the Lord has kept him in that situation. Now, this is another important aspect to learn here. As a jiva, we should never understand, let's say you're trying to control someone, or you're trying to teach a lesson to your daughter or a son. Let's say you have to use your hand once and then teach them a lesson. And remember, Srila Prabhupada's father teaching Srila Prabhupada a lesson. Before Srila Prabhupada's father taught him a lesson, he said, I'm gonna I'm gonna use my hand now because I want to teach you a lesson. Because you're not learning a lesson. Through this way, you will actually learn the lesson. That means he told this is not like something which is coming out of anger. No, this is actually coming out of love. He's actually telling Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada very clearly, he is understanding, oh, this is what I should learn now. That's what Srila Prabhupada felt. He dedicated the book of Krishna to his father, Gauramohan, because he knows that his father is the first spiritual teacher to him. And through his father's instruction, through his father's guidance, Srila Prabhupada, when he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he could be able to understand who this pure person is. If his father wouldn't have trained him, Prabhupada would have never understood who that personality is. That's what Srila Prabhupada actually tells. I'm indebted to my father because it's through my father's consciousness, through his training, I could actually figure out who Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is. And then within that first moment itself, I know he's a pure soul. And then teachings of Lord Chaitanya is in the perfect hands. Through that action, Prabhupada actually surrendered. Just like Arjuna surrendered to Krishna because Arjuna knows Krishna. Please understand. Arjuna is actually submitting to the Lord because Arjuna knows him. Please understand. That is through that knowing only he is actually confirming. No, please, 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 share me that. Take me there, take me here. Then actually he is actually opening the heart because he knows that person. Please understand. Do you open your heart to anyone or everyone? No, you open your heart to whoever is close to you. Because Arjuna is opening his heart to Arjuna here. No, Srila Prabhupada opening his heart to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Because he's his master. He's opening up the heart there. But before opening the heart, Prabhupada was actually convinced with that person. That's why you see how much Krishna consciousness on a personal level is so important. Especially the training should be taken. I'll tell another aspect. Since the childhood, the children are trained in such a way that they shouldn't touch or smell urine and stool. That's a training. That's a training given to the children. So children, since their childhood, they do not go that route. The moment they pass urine, then they wash their feet, hands, and then they come out. They pass stool, they take bath, they come out, right? Because they are learning. But since childhood, if that training is not been given, if something else is being trained, then they will learn that. Please understand. That means what is happening? As per the training, what they have received, they're leading their life according to that. For example, if the child has good relationship with the parents, then if the child goes to the hostel, he will not commit mistakes because he knows the parents have already trained him in that way, that how what is good, what is bad. So the moment he sees bad association, he will stay away from that. That is what? That's the greatest protection. Right? Here Arjuna, what is Arjuna doing here? Exactly doing the same thing. He has an issue, he has a thought in his consciousness, he's expressing his thought to his master. Krishna was the supreme personality of Godhead. Now the Lord, as a spiritual master here, taking that position of the spiritual master. Now, right now, he is the friend. Now, Krishna has in Gita, right now, his friend. Next, he'll become the spiritual master. At the end of the Gita, again, he'll become friend. It's very interesting. It's only during that 15-20 minutes or half an hour time. At that moment only, he is the master. And then after that, that hat is been taken off. And then he's his friend. And after that, at the end, how do we know that he's his friend? At the end, he says, "Oh, Arjuna, I told you everything. Now it's up to you. I've given you everything, all the independence. Now it's up to you. If you want to do it, you do it. Otherwise, you simply ignore this." Just like we see through the life of Gajendra, is a huge elephant. Every day, Gajendra is going to take bath in the beautiful lake, Trikut Parvat, Rutmak forest. There are swans, peacocks, beautiful water. Everything is beautiful. In that they take bath every day. And one day he didn't realize the crocodile caught him. Now through his efforts he wanted to come out of it, but it is very difficult to come out of it. Was he expecting that? He's not expecting that. Likewise, Arjuna, is he expecting this difficulty coming into his life? He's not expecting. Was it Gajendra expecting? No. Is Arjuna expecting? No. Was Srila Prabhupada expecting in his life that he will get this kind of difficulty at this moment? No. He's not expecting anything. But things are coming. Then what they are doing? All these personalities, they are taking shelter. What is the common factor in all of them? Arjuna took shelter by surrendering. Srila Prabhupada surrendered, he took shelter. Gajendra is also taking shelter by surrendering. Now all have different brackets of taking surrender. Srila Prabhupada immediately took it. Please understand. What is Arjuna doing? He also immediately took it. Because he has grief, he surrendered. Within few moments, he surrendered. But Gajendra's is longer tenure. This is exactly suits the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul doesn't want to surrender. He wants to try. Just like Gajendra is trying. Gajendra is actually trying to come out of that clutch, to come out of the clutch. It is using the force, using all the energy. But the crocodile is very stronger in water. And Gajendra might be very heavy. Just like the conditioned soul, he might know all the situations of this world. He might know how to code, he might know how to get salary, he might know how to do this, how to do that. He might know how to, how to ride the car. He might know how to invest in which company, at what time. He might know everything. But he doesn't know that there is a crocodile. That he doesn't know that there is a material nature in this world, which is actually driving all of these Vegas. But he's actually thinking that no, 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 I can survive. Even though the material nature is catching him, he has different ways and means to come out of that. Please understand. The material nature is catching. Just like Gajendra was being caught. Material nature is catching. Material nature is showing different realms. But the Gajendra is thinking, I can come out of this. Just like the Jiva is thinking that I can come out of this death. That's why all this technological advancement for what? Is to extend the death, extend the life expectancy. All the technological advancement, stem cells, cell therapies, medicine unique to a particular person. We're seeing companies coming doing that, especially in US. Medicine. Oh, you have this disease, this medicine is strictly for you. You take this, your disease will be cured. What are they trying to do? They're trying to extend the life, but is it technically happening? No, whenever Brahmaji decides that day, everything is burned off. No matter what we do. If Brahmaji says 80 years, that's it. Cannot stay 81 years. Or 80 years, one day also you cannot stay. It's 80 means 80. We have to leave means we have to leave. That means up until 80, what we did, based on that, we'll get another. We'll carry forward that. We'll be carry forwarding ourselves again and again and again and again because we never want to leave the clutches of this material nature. But these personalities, pure souls, what Arjuna did immediately. There's grief immediately. Srila Prabhupada immediately after seeing his spiritual master, so I want to surrender. I want to give my life and soul to you. He accepted, even though he was not initiated, but he felt, he is my life and soul. He is my master. He is my life and soul, and I'll do everything to please him. Now, this attitude is only Srila Prabhupada wrote this wonderful book, Dear Devotees. And that is what we are discussing. That exactly that person's selflessness, that person's submission, that person's everything lead to this Gita, lead to this discussion. This is not a normal thing. This is the heart of Srila Prabhupada. Now, who's sitting in his heart? Krishna. That means this is Krishna's only. That's how the Guru Parampara is actually coming. Please understand. How is that Guru Parampara is coming after since 5,000 years ago? Because Krishna is revealing the truth through the heart of Srila Prabhupada. Just like Srila Prabhupada, just like Krishna is telling here, right? Uvacha partha pasyaitan samaveta kurunnitihi. Uvacha partha pasyaitan. Krishna is telling here, right? Oh, behold, Kurus. Did Arjuna want to stop there? Prabhupada is actually asking putting a question. Did Arjuna want to stop there and not fight? Oh, Krishna knows this. Krishna never expected such things from the son of his aunt Pritha. This mind of Arjuna was just predicted by the Lord in a friendly joking. That means Lord is actually joking here. Vacha partha pasyaitan samayetan kuruniti. What are you doing, Arjuna? You don't want to fight? Oh, that's your dharma. You don't want to do this? Really? That means Lord is already expecting that. Because in which situation Lord is keeping? This is the greatest pinnacle test in his life. This is the test of his life, dear devotees. Arjuna putting in that state, test of his life. That's why through the test of the life, this beautiful narration of Gita came. Now you need to know actually how the Gita came, why one should read. A lot of people will say, oh, I know this sloka, Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra, Samayata, so I know Gita. The false ego is so deep. What happens, dear devotees? Why the false ego will actually put us in a different state? The false ego will say, oh, मुझे मालूम ही है. I know this already. The moment we felt that I know this, mujhe malum hai, I know this already, that itself we are out of that realm. That means we are in the clutches of the material nature. If Gajendra would have said, I can come out of this, I can come out. He tried it for 10,000 years. Prabhu's and Prabhuji's and Mata is not for one day, 2 day. Tried for 10,000 years. Because they are in the celestial plane, dude. What is their power, their strength is different. So don't think that, oh, he's not eating for 10,000 years, can he sustain? Don't, we shouldn't compare to our material plane. That is next to Svetaswara. That is next to Lord Vishnu's abode, the Rutmak forest, Trikut Parvat. It's not in this, it's not in America. It's not in like Tampa. No, it's somewhere else. This is Rutmak forest. It's a different realm. We cannot perceive. Our imagination will not go there. Just imagine for 10,000 years, he's thinking that he can do it. Just like the conditions all in this world, he's thinking, oh, I can come out to this, I can come out to, I can do this, I can do this. No, I can figure this out. Can we figure this out? It depends. It depends how much conviction we have in the process. If we are fully convinced, then we immediately surrender. If you are not convinced, then the surrender will take time. If you are even not convinced, then the surrender will lead to next life. But that thing has to happen. That means if whoever is understanding chapter 1 perfectly, they will actually surrender by second chapter is coming. Just like the time of Arjuna is coming to surrender, the sadhaka will also come to that state. Because it is important, right? We need to know why Srila Prabhupada always continuously tells surrender, surrender, surrender. Because they are both important, na? Why he always says, oh, sarvadharman paritya, sarvadharman paritya, sarvadharman paritya. Oh, important, na? It is very important. Srila Prabhupada did not surrender while he is leaving his body. Please understand. He surrendered the moment he saw his spiritual master. There's a difference. There's a difference between the normal jiva in this world and the pure souls. That's why Sakshat Haritvena Samasya Shastra Ruptas Tata Bhavayate Vasat. That's why we give respect to them as equal to the Lord. You see Krishna Balram, where are they standing? Is Krishna standing there and Balram standing here? No. Krishna Balram, they stand on same level. And Krishna is Balram Jesus putting his hand on the shoulder of Krishna. Now Balramji represents that, the spiritual master. This is a Guru Tattva. He represents that Guru Tattva. Where is that Guru Tattva? Right next to the Lord. That means who is giving that position? The Lord is only giving him that position. Lord desires his devotees, his pure devotees to be glorified, right? He wakes up in the morning. In the Suprabhata Seva, they glorify the Lord. Oh, my dear Lord, you are great. The moment the Lord is woke up, is great, is great, is great. Because that Lord is in a different state. That Lord is in a different. Uh, his his uh, his rasa is different. He's in a different state. That Balaji, that Vishnu, Narayana is in a different state. But this Krishna is totally different. This Krishna, he wants his devotees to be glorified, and then he wants to hear that early in the morning. And then whoever does that, getting up early in the morning, he's very happy with that person who's actually doing it. By hook or crook, one should actually do Guru Ashtakam in the morning. Samsaradava. Why? See, what is this manifestation? What Srila Prabhupada gave us, what pure souls are giving us. What is this manifestation? It's amazing. They're giving Krishna consciousness. They're giving Krishna prem. Are we hankering? I'm not hankering for Krishna prem, but they are catching, they're holding. No, hey, Neil going, Dadash, where are you going? Stay here, I'll give you Krishna prem. Stay here. They're holding the hand. Hey, stay here. Just like Lord Nityananda, he holded Jagayamadaya. Likewise, our spiritual master, they're holding, hey, stay here. Don't go anywhere. Stay here. Because this is a mercy of Lord Chaitanya and his followers. This is a Kali Yuga batch is different batch, dear. Please understand. The mentality, the consciousness, the understanding, the acceptance, everything is different. It's a very slow process. You know what is the slow process in Kali Yuga? You have a big pot, and then the burning, you have kept a small candle. Now, how much time it will take to cook rice in that big pot? You have a small candle in the bottom. It will take a long time. बिग pot बहुत बहुत बड़ा pot लगा है और नीचे कैंडल लगा है. It's only a candle. How much time it will take? It will take so much time. That's exactly in Kali Yuga. No interest to take Krishna consciousness. It's difficult. No interest. कुछ इच्छा ही नहीं है. No desire. That's why the morning program of Shravana Kirtana, that is the only time, if we hear attentively, that is the only time where we are having that pure state of consciousness. And the rest, everything is a different state, is in a different plane. That's not our state or our plane. It's like Arjuna, here in this particular state, what is he telling? No, he's responding because he's seeing everyone. Na? Sloka number 26 and 27, they tell about this. Oh, who is he seeing? Oh, here it has been mentioned, Srila Prabhupada so mercifully, lovingly is telling. Bhishma, he saw Bhishma, Somadatta, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, Shalya, Shakuni, his brothers Duryodhana, Lakshmana, sons like Lakshmana, friends like Ashwadhama, Velvishwar like Kritavarma, etc. All these personalities are there on the opposite side. Now Arjuna has a relationship with all of them. And how can he find? This is $1 million question. That means no God has kept in a, he closed everything, all the doors, and then he has given a situation. He said, no, solve this problem. Now, how you will solve the problem? Likewise, Krishna, he will close all the doors and then he'll give a problem. Everything is closed and then he'll give a problem. Or he'll take away everything. Please don't be worried, he'll not take away. To take away, it will take time. One should aspire for that also. Krishna. So he takes away. Prabhupada actually writes, right? In the initial writings of Leela Amrita, he says that where is my father? Where is my mother? Where is my family? Where are my sons? So nobody is there. I'm left alone. Where is my property? This, that. What is all this? What is all these things happening in my life? And then he says, oh. And later on, when he established the organization, then when he's reflecting to his disciples, he's telling, oh, at that time I felt, oh, what's happening in my life? But now I'm realizing, oh, Lord kept me in that state to generate this. I'm grateful. And then he says, thank you, my dear Lord, for putting me in those conditions so that I understand the gravity of this material nature. We might have problems. Our husband might not be good, wife might not be good. That's okay. That is good for us. If they are not good, that is good. वो अच्छा है अपने को. That is good for us. Very important. Very, very important. Because through that good, where are we seeing? Is a problem now. Just like Gajendra has a problem. Where is he seeing? After 10,000 years, what he did? He turned towards the Lord. Then he picked up that lotus flower and then he cried out. He had Gajendra prayers, of beautiful prayers in Bhagavatam, expounding the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Vishnu immediately comes from the spiritual world, from the Vaikuntha plane. He comes and then he releases Gajendra. Because what Gajendra did, he submitted himself fully, just like Arjuna is doing, just like Bali Maharaj did. Bali Maharaj submitted everything. Atmanivedam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnum, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, Sakyam. Who represents Sakyam? We are discussing about him only, Arjuna. Great personality. Dear devotees, Arjuna is there now also. Just like Shilpa is there now, Arjuna is there now. Gajendra is also there now. The moment we discuss about them, we feel their presence. We are not alone, dear devotees. We are with all of these personalities. That means the Shravana Shakti is so powerful that it will reveal all of these things to us. It's very important. Now, in the heart of Bali Maharaj, there's always two things. He could have accepted the words of Shukracharya because he's his teacher. Now he could have he could have told his mind, no, 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 whatever my teacher says, I will do. No, I should be submissive to my teacher. He could have told his mind like that, but he did not. He said, no, if Vishnu is coming, I know who Vishnu is. He's a supreme personality of Godhead. If he's asking, yes, that's the greatest blessing for me. My dear Lord, please accept this. Here Vamandev is asking and taking. But in the life of pure souls, there a Lord will not ask because Lord has full conviction with that person. He removes everything. So only happens in the pure soul's life, not everyone. Because Lord knows this soul will stick. He will do bhakti with more devotion. Then he remove everything. That means the pure souls, the more Srila Prabhupada is more exalted than Bali Maharaj. Why here Vamandev is actually coming and then telling, oh, can you give me 3 steps? No, Krishna did not come and tell to Srila Prabhupada because he has full conviction with Srila Prabhupada that he will remove everything and then he will extract that pure devotional service from that heart. And then whoever gets that inspiration, they will also get that pure devotional service. And then whoever gets that pure devotional service, they are actually there with the Lord. They are actually there with Krishna. And this is not normal Krishna. This is a Goloka Krishna. That Goloka Krishna, who has actually always wanted to hear the glories of his devotees. Now, our beloved Srila Prabhupada is that. Pure souls, his followers are there that. They are exalted, they are empowered personalities, they are that. Why they are that? Because they are not seeing the Krishna directly, just like Bali Maharaj saw Vamandev directly. No, he's a he came as a 3 foot boy. He's actually very beautiful. Bhagavatam reveals, oh, Bali Vamandev is so beautiful. Oh, Prabhupada did not see Krishna like that. Prabhupada did not say, oh, two-handed form, Shama Sundar, threefold bending form, just like Rupa Goswami has explained. Prabhupada did not. He never said that I saw Krishna like that. He only said, I have full faith on the words of my spiritual master. I abide to that. That's what he did. He received the greatest blessing from the Lord. That means he did not physically see that form, but he is continuously seeing his form in his consciousness. He is perceiving. Beautiful. Prabhupada never said. If you actually see in our Gaudiya Vaishnavas, none of the acharyas they tell, oh, I've seen Krishna like this, like that. We see Bhaktivinoda Thakur or Gaur Kishore Das Babaji or Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj telling all those things. No, that's the beauty of our project. But if you actually see in the Sri Sampradaya, the hours, they actually see the Lord personally. Their reciprocation is different. Our reciprocation is completely different. This is a devotion in separation, dear devotees. Who are they? They're all manjaris actually. They're always in that state. Continuously serving, pleasing the Lord, pleasing the acharyas, pleasing the gopis. This is only in this. The only Lord Chaitanya's batch only will go to Golaka. Please understand. Nobody else will go. Only this batch will go to Guru. That's why Lord, through his rasa, his mood is totally different. His mood is what he wanted to continuously hear the glories of what his devotees. Just like when the Lord came as Lord Chaitanya, he was continuously hearing the passions of Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj. Because he wanted to realize the devotees. Sakshi Gopal, the pastime. He wanted to hear that again and again. Because he wanted to see the interaction between the Lord and his pure devotees continuously. So that is a mode. That is a mode we need to perceive. So Arjuna, here in this state, what is it telling? Oh, I'm grief stricken now. My hands are shivering. My legs are also shivering. I'm getting sweat. Oh, my dear Lord. Seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, you are actually in a fighting spirit. दृष्टवेनं स्वजनं कृष्ण युयुत्सं समुपस्थितं सिद्धन्ति मम गत्राणि मुखं चापरि परिशुष्यते सिद्धन्ति मम गत्राणि quivering my hands like siddhanti mama gatvani. They're shedding. Now Arjuna became so soft hearted person, complete changed. According to the situation. Before this moment he was not like that. After the situation is like this. We see this generally happening, right? If somebody of our dear ones, we hear, we get a phone call and then so and so person is not feeling well, he's in the hospital. The sweat will come, because we have a relationship with them. You feel shivering will come. It's quite natural. So Arjuna is actually feeling that. Just like Gajendra, when he was in the difficulty, his wife, children, they all tried for some time, but they left. Just like Srila Prabhupada is telling in Lilamrita, where are they now? I don't see anyone. Oh, my dear Lord, I'm alone here. What's happening? Krishna, I'm alone, completely alone. What's happening here? Please tell, please guide. No, Arjuna is in this state. Very important. Please understand. And Prabhupada is explaining. We'll discuss about this shloka again tomorrow. 28 shloka, we'll discuss. But we did not discuss shloka number 28. We came to this particular point where Arjuna is in the state of anxiety. He's feeling awkward. His consciousness changed because the situation changed. Before he was speaking to Krishna boldly, Krishna, please take me to the center of the battlefield. But now he doesn't have that gravity. He's not speaking like that because his hands, his legs started shivering. Now, this is the moment where Arjuna begins to open his heart. From this point of time, up until chapter 1, Arjuna will give so many reasons, logics, this, that, why this is happening, how this is not dharma, why should I do this, why should I fight? Many reasons. They're all very valid, very important for us to assimilate. It's easy to tell you are not this body but a powerful spirit soul. But it's not that easy to convince that person that you are not this body but a powerful spirit soul. Because I don't see that soul. Do I see the soul? I don't see. That's why everyone's conviction has to be given by the acharyas, by the Lord. That conviction has to be kept in their heart. And the person has to be receptive to receive that conviction. That's why it's important to see how Arjuna is going through this state. And then how is he submitting himself? What is he doing? What is he asking? What is he inquiring? And even after all of these inquiries, all of these questions, still the grief is not gone. That means he used everything. Just like Gajendra, Gajendra used all the strength, but he couldn't come out of it. Please understand. Personalities like Gajendra, personalities like Indra or Arjuna, he used all their energy but couldn't come out of it. Can we come out of this, dear devotees? This is how we need to ask. This is how we need to do introspection. Can I do this all by myself? Can I do this? Arjuna couldn't do this. Gajendra couldn't do this. Can I do this? This question, this inquiry is where it should come. Or whoever inquires that, then he will ask, what is the option for me? Then the Shastra says, Tadvidya pranipatena pariprashnana siva. Upadekshanti te gnanam gnaninas tattvadarsh. Pranipata, pariprashna seva. This Krishna says, this is a shelter, this is a hope. This is the only way. The secret is, if a person understands that one shloka, do you know what is? Pranipatena, not even full shloka, those 3 lines. Pranipatena pariprashana sevaya. If you understand the 3 lines, 3 words, then he will understand the entire Gita. He might not know the slokas, but he'll get the essence of everything. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he goes to South India, he meets that Brahmana. Brahmana, he doesn't know all of these things. But what is happening? Divya Gyan Hridaya Prakashita is coming. Prema Bhakti jahan hote avidya vinashe jate. That Prema Bhakti jahan hote, that has to be given to the spiritual master. What happens? Avidya vinashe jate. Avidya is dissipated, Nishainsh is dissipated, ignorance is dissipated. Om Gnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakya. That ignorance is removed. Chakshurun Minitam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Now. By their mercy, that is removed from our consciousness. When that is removed, then there is anxiety. No, there is no anxiety. There's fear. No, there's no fear. Everything is beautifully laid. There's no problem. Then this world is not a Dukhalayam. Who said this is Dukhalayam? This Dukhalayam is for materialistic persons. This Dukhalayam is not for practitioners, sadhakas. Sadhakas will also be not be if they devotees. We don't have to be even we don't have to be in the pure plane also. But if you are sincere with our practice, that itself will give you happiness. I'll write it down. Pure pain will come tomorrow, day after tomorrow. There is no worry of that. But if you continue the sincerity, doing Shravana Kirtana, following 4 negative principles, chanting 16 rounds, if these things are done every day, then that itself will give you satisfaction and happiness. Because what you are doing, you are actually following the words of Srila Prabhupada. You are actually following his word. Then who will give happiness? Krishna will give happiness. For sure, I will write it down. There's no doubt about it, because he directly came from the spiritual world. The person who came from there only, he'll tell everything. और उधर का from the words of the spiritual world will be spoken here by Krishna through his representative. This discussion, no doubt, Krishna spoke this in Kurukshetra. You can say, oh, Kurukshetra is close to Delhi. If I go there, then I'll see. Oh, you can see the physical form where Krishna has spoken. But this discussion is in the spiritual world. Because the realm is different. They're in a different state. Now that spiritual world discussion is given to us here by the Acharyas. That's why Sakshat Dharitvana Samasta Shastra. It's not blindly we speak something. It's not blindly we do something. Everything, there is a reason, logic, everything is there. Everything is perfectly there. But so is our life and soul. Our Acharyas are spiritual masters. They are the guiding light for us. So without they're like I always think about them. They're like a car driving in the darkness without car lights. Car light is not there. It's a pitch dark. But you're driving the car. Can we drive? We cannot drive. That is material world. The moment light comes out of the car, from the car, and then now you can see everything. There is a deer, you can do a turn like this and then go. That light is the Acharya words, spiritual master words. That light is that. That is that light. Through that light only, to pranipatena pariprashana sevi, all the Gita is revealed. Then through that light only, oh, how Arjuna is in this state, how he will improve his consciousness, where at what moment he surrender. So the sadhaka should surrender at what moment, how he should surrender, why he should surrender, whom has, or whose purpose he should surrender. Everything will be revealed. This is called as Divya Gyan Hridaya Prakashit. Through that, what happens? You will do continuous services to please Guru and Krishna. You give the life. By giving the life, you get the life. Or you give this life, you'll get an eternal life. What is this giving? It's nothing actually. By giving this life, you develop a relationship. And through that relationship, you're laying a foundation for what? Eternal spiritual life. There is no janma mrityu jaravadi, no ahara nidra bhayam idunam cha. You're giving up the sex life here. There is no sex life actually. That's the least thing actually. Least to bother. Because you get unlimited ananda. We don't aspire for ananda through the senses. Actually, we are all Prakriti. Who is Purusha here, dear? What is? Who is Purusha? You tell me who is Purusha. Only one Purusha. Krishna is only one Purusha. This is heavy. There's no, it's, will not understand just through the word, but there's no Purusha here. Please understand. You cannot proclaim ourselves, oh, I'm Purusha. Even the energy in the Purusha is actually given by the Lord. This Deha is given by the Lord. This consciousness is given by the Lord. The Shakti, the count, the Virya Shakti in the human, in the male, that is also being given by the Lord. Hare Krishna. Everything is given. Does Mataji builds the body? Does the Prabhuji builds the body of the child? No, everything is done by the nature. That is the mercy of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Very, very important. So this we need to understand more. We need to study more. Now Arjuna is actually telling, he's becoming very sympathetic. He's using big, big statements now, which is a revelation, not an ordinary thing. Hare Krishna. यस्यासि भक्तेर्भगवत् किञ्चन सर्वैर्गुणैस्तत्र समस्तसूरः हरौ अभक्तस्य कुतो महद्गुणात् मनोरथेन रथेन सति धवतो भाविः. One who has unflinching devotion for the personality of Godhead has all the good qualities of demigods. This one faith, dear devotees. Krishna is not tell, oh, you surrender everything, do this, oh, until that point of time, I'll not give. He says you have one faith, unflinching faith or devotion to the Supreme Personality of God. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavata kincha. That means unalloyed devotional service. Yasyasti bhaktir. Sarvair gunes tatra samasta surya. All the sarva guna, all the good qualities of the Devi Devatas, they will come into your heart. But who is not a devotee, haro abhaktasya kuto mahadguna. That means he might have so many qualities, but he's abhakta. He's not a bhakta. Haro abhaktasya kuto mahadguna. Manoratena siddhato hi bahu. Because his mind, manoratena siddhata hi bahu, is hovering on the mental plane. That mental plane will not give satisfaction. That hovering in the mental plane is what? That is impersonalism. What is that? Meditation just on jnana, meditation just on some energy. That is impersonalism. Manoratena adi dhavata hi bahi. That is a material glaring effulgence. Arey yaar, do you want glaring effulgence or you want person who has that glaring effulgence? It's cheap, na? Going behind the energy of the Lord. What is that? Just an energy, just like Brahman. What is that? Just light. What do we get through light? Nothing. There's no relationship there. What kind of meditation is that? No. Krishna is telling, I wanted to give you my relation. Come to me. I want to extend myself to you. Please come. भक्तों से मैं सकाचते रहस्य में तो उत्तम. I want to reveal everything to you. Please come. Krishna is ready to extend himself. What is this running behind glaring effulgence? A cheap thing, na? Arey, if you know something, if you know a person who is giving you like $1,000, you're running behind for 50 paisa or $1. You're running for $1. He'll give you $1,000. You're running for $1. When an adult will see when the child is running for $1, the adult wants to give him $1,000 because he doesn't know. He doesn't know dollar. He thinks the dollar is more. The sort of sheer ignorance. People run behind the material energy. That is also material plane only. It's not in the spiritual realm. That means Yashyasya Bhaktir Bhavata Kinchana. When that is there, then that is manifested in the heart. Then all the petty things are gone. See, dear devotees, unflinching devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This we need to aspire. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Like to share? Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Krishna, please tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, bro. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Very wonderful points, Prabhuji, today. How Arjuna and Prabhupada surrender immediately to Lord, and then Gajendra took time. So I think you said rightly, like comparing to the material people, it will take some time to surrender. But I also feel that, Prabhu, I mean, it's my personal experience. When there are difficulties, that's where you have more conviction and faith towards Lord. Uh, that is even at that time, like you have a greatest learning as well. And even in the case of Mother Kunti, also she says that like give more calamities, and then we will take more shelter towards you. So a lot of good points, Prabhuji. Thank you for enlightening today.
What you said is absolutely true. When there are difficulties, sadhaka will take more shelter. But during the difficulties, sadhaka will take shelter only if he has yasyasya bhaktir bhagavata kinchana. That means if he has that faith, that strong shraddha towards the process, then he'll take more difficulties. He'll accept the process more during the difficulties. And he'll get more realizations, he'll get more connection, he'll get more conviction. He'll be fixed up in the process more. He'll deepen his consciousness. But if the faith is not there, then he will leave during the difficulties. It depends on the situation. Now, Kunti Maharani is exalted. Srila Prabhupada, they're exalted. Prabhupada has so many difficulties. His faith conviction increased, deepened more. Arjuna's faith conviction will be deepened more through the discussion. Because he is submitting to a difficult world. This is a lifelong difficulty. Arjuna never had this difficulty in his life. Now he had problems to him. Oh, for whom, for a Vaishnava, what is the greatest problem? Not the problems to him. Through him, there's a problem to others. Please understand. For a Vaishnava, for a pure soul, if he is going through so many difficulties, there's no problem for him. But through him, if there is a difficulty to others, oh, he cannot accept that. Then his devotion will be intensified more. Because through him, it's a problem to him. We see Prahlad Maharaj. Because Prahlad Maharaj felt that through him only his father is being killed. He intensified. He asked, the first thing he asked, my dear Lord, please give me higher, please give higher destination to my father first. Then he spoke about himself. This is the greatness of a Vaishya. Paratukatuki, Parasukasuki. If the other person is in a bewildered state, if through him it is a more problem. It's like a suicide for the devotee. What's happening? Because what is their mood? Their mood is totally different. They're devotees. That's why this Krishna consciousness is very deep science. It's beauty actually. The more we discuss, the more we will relish, the more we will understand. What you said is very beautiful, Madhav Krishna Prabhu. Please continue hearing. Please continue contemplating the truth in your life. Because
Yes,
when the
Prabhu.
difficulties are going through in our life, that is good for us. Please understand. I know your situation. Difficulties are good for us. Every difficulty is good for us. Why? Because through the difficulty, you are taking shelter. And then through that shelter, what is happening? Your faith in the process is increased, conviction is increased. Then you aspire to take more Krishna consciousness, you aspire to take more shelter, you aspire to take more dependence. Will come. More and more will come. It's like Gajendra, he was not convinced, but later on he was convinced because all the doors are closed. He's becoming more weak. He can't fight anymore. At that moment he saw. Just like Arjuna, he cannot do anything. At the end of chapter 1, he cannot do anything after that. He said, oh my dear Lord. In second chapter also he speaks couple of words, but after that he is totally exhausted. He says, Krishna, I can't do this anymore. At that moment Krishna started speaking. But Lord Chaitanya is not like that. Nityananda Prabhu not like that. All his followers are not like that. They come to us. They catch hold of us. And they will say, no, you chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada. Nobody came to Prabhupada. Prabhupada did. We understand. That's the greatness. That's why dear devotees, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is totally different. Actually, we are ever grateful to this actually. We cannot repay in return. That is why through this mode only we serve them continuously, eternally. That's why Prabhupada said that I am your eternal well-wisher. What is that? This is that. But whatever he gave, we cannot repay to him eternally. Now he is telling I am your eternal servant. Actually, we are his eternal servants. We are his eternal servants of the servants actually. Yes. Very important. Can we repay dear devotee? They coming to us, they telling us, they giving the light, they giving everything to us. What is that? I have no expectancy in return. We're doing it selflessly. What is that? Is it not the great shelter? This is exactly what Lord Chaitanya and his followers do. This is their mercy. So Krishna is not like that. Oh, Krishna is like strict police officer. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a mother. Hare Krishna. Mother, Chaitanya, Nityananda, mothers. They come. They say, you're not a devotee. I know you're not a devotee. Don't worry. I'll tell you how to become a devotee. Not even that I'll give you Krishna Prem. What is this, dear devotee? Munis, Rishis, they do millions of lifetimes. They practice for so many lifetimes, 100 lifetimes. Are to get Brahma position, 100 lifetimes you should be Naistika Brahmacharya. 100 lifetimes. If you take the sannyas, then 100 lifetimes. You do perfect pakka following. Then, if he's sanctioned, then he'll get the position of Brahma. What is this position in Goloka? It is greater than Brahmaji. Hare Krishna. Where are they taking us there, devotees? Please understand. We should understand where we are going actually. Forget about doing this later or not. अरे किधर जा रहे हैं आर्टिस्ट विष्णु अरे what is the greatest version than Brahma ji actually was spiritual world Goloka if you know this then our gratitude our seeing the things will be different our seeing Krishna consciousness will be different our accepting or taking this process will be different Hare Krishna it's totally different dude what is Krishna Prabhu please understand after this Kali Yuga there is no entrance to Goloka. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers, they all go back, there's no entrance. There's no entrance. Goloka doors are closed. They all go to ISKCON Tampa. How do this is, his consciousness, his heart is totally different. Krishna is different, bro. Very unique. Very different. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his mercy, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Mahavishnu, he's praying. Mahavishnu and Lord Shiva, he is coming and I cannot do anything. You come, my dear Lord. Through his prayer, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. You should know who these personalities are. Oh, amazing. Jagannath ji. What is Jagannath ji? There is unlimited mercy actually. He's always wanted to give. He's telling, I want to hug you. I want to hug you. He's extending his hands. He's telling, I want to hug you. Come, come, come. I'll hug you. Oh, I have so many sins. Don't worry, don't worry. I'll hug you. Don't worry. Not mercy. Cannot perceive. They're the epitome. He's in complete ecstasy. His eyes are very big, wide open. He's in ecstatic mode. He's in separation with his devotees. And when you glorify his devotees in front of him, oh, it's the greatest benediction. He says, oh yes, you come. I'll take you to the spiritual world. So your difficulties are there, that's good. It's like Kunti Mahani prayed for difficulties. Why? Because her conviction is so deep. But if the faith is not deep, then through the difficulties we live. Because we fry. Because we get fried through the difficulties. For example, the plant is not connected to the root, or the branch of the plant is not connected to the root, through the scorching summer, it will be fried. But if it is connected to the root, even it is scorching summer, it will sustain. Sustain. So connecting is the conviction, the Shraddha. When the Shraddha is deep, then we are connected. Then through that difficulties, what happens? We take more shelter. That's why Shravana Kirtana, continuous Shravana Kirtana should be there. Why Prabhupada told this? This is the reason actually. Prabhupada, Nashta Prayasho Bhadreshu, Nityam Bhavatasya. You remember, you hear every day. When you hear every day, you'll become a devotee. For sure. You'll surrender your life. For sure. But that is a goal actually. That is a sadhaka's goal. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Madhava Krishna Prabhu. Would you like to add anything?
Yes, Prabhu. One another important point that you mentioned is Krishna knows how much intensity of difficulties to give, and even at the right time. The example that you said is like Arjuna. He can take it to anywhere in the battlefield, but he took to the middle of it, where he doesn't want to see Arjuna. So,
Exactly,
very
bro.
connecting point, Prabhuji.
Exactly, bro. So Krishna, even in our life also, he will give those situations. If Krishna is giving those situations, we need to understand, ah, yaar, this is good. This is good for me. Krishna, I know it is difficult for me. Arjuna, he can do this, I cannot do this, but you give me strength so that I can do this. This is a prayer we need to do to the Lord. Let's say we have those difficulties, which is difficult to come out. We pray to the Lord. My dear Lord, please. I know without your intervention, these difficulties will not come. You give me this difficulty, but for me, it is difficult to come out of it. You give that strength. आप तो ना वो strength दो ना मुझे. If you give me that strength, then I'll come out of it. Please give that. I'm dependent on you. This is what is this doing, dear devotees, is we are not feeling Krishna as a separate person. Please understand. We are his part and parcel. Mamaya Vamshu Jivaloka. These are not blanket statements. We are really part and parcel. When we are really part and parcel, we need to ask him. For example, a child, he is hungry. He will ask the mother, Amma, can you please feed me dosha? Amma will feed dosha. Because child is hungry. Likewise, when we feel the Lord is part and parcel, we need to ask him. We need to take the permission from the spiritual master, please, please. And then we need to request them, please pass on this prayer to the Lord. That means the prayer is passed on to them, to the Lord eventually. Through this prayer, what is happening? Again, we are strengthening our roots by deepening the consciousness. There's difficulties there. What are we doing? We are not like bewildered here and there, like chicken cut off heads. Head is cut off, if the head is cut off from the chicken, what is it doing? It doesn't know where to go. We're not like that. What are we trying to do? We are trying to be on the ground, then act on that prayer by depending more. Then you'll see beautiful results. So thank you for sharing that. It's important because unless we know that in which state we are, how do we see the presence of the Lord? We should know in which state we are. We should know who is keeping us in that particular state. Hare Krishna. Thank you, bro. Anyone else? Subal Prabhu was speaking.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Wonderful discussion every day, giving us these wonderful lessons for us how to improve in our bhakti. Especially, you mentioned about, Arjuna. Initially, he was, very passionate, but after hearing the Bhagavad Gita, he understood the essence of it and like how a disciple surrendered. So you mentioned that we should surrender to our Guru. Only then we'll get mercy. And you also mentioned about how Gauranga Mahaprabhu has come here to give this mercy and take us all back to Goloka Vrindavan. And with these difficulties in sadhaka's life, we are getting taught a lesson, and how our Madhava Krishna Prabhu also mentioned how we can overcome these only with bhakti, because Krishna knows what we can handle, because Krishna has a better plan for us, and that is the reason we are here. That's my understanding. Hare Krishna. Then.
Actually, he will give those difficulties based on our surrender also. Based on our level of understanding. God give those difficulties. He will not intervene in our independence. That is for sure. Because since how the sadhaka will be here since millions of lifetimes, because Lord is giving all the independence. That's why we are here since millions of lifetimes. That means today also he will not intervene. Tomorrow also he will not intervene. Next life also he will not intervene. Only the representatives who come in our life, they intervene. No one else will intervene. Prabhupada, his followers, they will intervene. So we should be grateful to them. Because Krishna will not interfere. No doubt, Krishna is only sending them, for sure. Without Krishna's sanction, it will not happen. But directly, not interfere. He will send his representatives. Just like if the relationship with the father is cut off, the father will send whoever is closer to the child, like his brother, like his cousin, like his cousin's son. He will send him. You talk to him. He's not hearing. He's not listening. That's what exactly Krishna is doing. He's sending his representative. That's why Lord is very pleased with those representatives. Because those are the ones who are glorified in the morning. Then they are glorified 24 hours. It is very happy to hear those glorifications. He is not happy to hear about his glories. Please understand. Very important. The more we develop this consciousness, the more we'll come to the plane of surrender. Devotion will begin. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Subal Prabhu. Anyone else? Amma Veena, would you like to speak? I'm not sure whether she is available. Would you like to ask? Hare Krishna. Anyone else would like to add?
Hare
Amma Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Humble to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, beautiful class as always, beautiful message. It's so beautiful that devotees are also sharing their thoughts, which I wanted to share as well. So beautiful, Prabhu. I was just contemplating while you're saying, while in the class, in the from the past messages as well. So Arjuna, according for irrespective to, as you explained, right, two cases, either his own desire or his put in that situation, to have that desire, wanted to go and was requesting Krishna to take in the center, to place in the center of the battlefield. It's his desire or Krishna putting him to get that desire. um, so it's like our free will to choose, right, requesting and so forth, and once there, then according to whether we are choosing the materialistic desire or really spiritual, to get closer to Krishna, to surrender to the spiritual Lord, according to that Krishna will fulfill both. But the consequences, whether the bewilderment or the happiness within the process, that both will be there according to our desire. And then desire requesting Krishna to fulfill the desire. So beautiful, Prabhu. And then Krishna accordingly will reveal the truth. He will reveal the truth. He's through. And how would we understand everything of this end to end? Only through the Guru, spiritual master, who's explaining. Otherwise, we would be hearing Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter. Actually, we'll be skipping the first chapter, the second chapter, and that to surrender shloka, from surrender shloka. But how would we know all of this beautiful explanation, in depth? I'm just saying one line from end to end, but then the way that you explained the details, it's a mercy, Prabhuji. No other go. The more we attentively hear, we depend on the speaker. It's a mercy. The revealing would become a. Thank you so very much, Prabhu. Thank you for your time, energy, Prabhuji's time and energy, giving selflessly through an example. We have to see, we have to observe, as you said, Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnaya Sevaya, the three aspects, slowly. Um, as we think, we are not even in the first point, what to speak of service, which is the third one. But somewhere we have to start, na. So we have to, and then in that process, though we are not there yet, with the mercy of the spiritual master, we will experience the everything in the first stage itself. So remembering that, I have to surrender more, go deeper, remember their generosity, show more gratitude. And this gives a conviction of the process, where the process is inside out. inside out, cleaning the heart first inside, and then everything outside, external, will be as to what Krishna is inside the heart. He knows. Then he will make the prakriti accordingly. As you are saying, Krishna is the only Purusha. Everything is prakriti. So prakriti will act according to our desire. Krishna will make it happen slowly, slowly. It's our perspective on how we see that situation, and that knowledge and realizations also will be given by the spiritual master through these messages. So how all I need to do is focusedly, committedly, with the relationship, listen to these messages, which will eventually, slowly, with their mercy. So, sorry, Prabhu, I started somewhere. Please forgive me if I've said anything. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna.
Actually, Krishna is taking and then putting Arjuna in that state when he kept in front of Bhishma Dona Pramukataha, when he asked Shanaya Ruvyaram of the Radham Sapitam Achita. And the Lord, why the Lord is keeping Arjuna in that state? Because Arjuna has that deep relationship with the Lord. Then Arjuna is ready to do anything. That's why Lord is putting Arjuna in that state. Because Arjuna also has a desire to do the best. Because Krishna is reveling according to that. Because Krishna was the heart of his devotee. Arjuna is a pure soul. So Arjuna's consciousness is that deep. That's why Krishna is putting him in that state. It's a difficult state. Because he knows Arjuna will accept. That's why Duryodhana has not been kept in that state. Why? Because there is nowhere in the picture. He never felt that relationship. He never come confronted in front of the Lord. Because if the sadhaka doesn't develop that relationship with the spiritual master, with our acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, with his followers, then we can never establish a relationship with the Lord. That's why it's a long process. Directly, if a person is connecting to Krishna, that will never happen. Directly connecting to Krishna. I'll chant rounds and then I'll go back home, back to Godhead. Oh, that will not happen. One should understand that why this chanting has been given, who gave this chanting, whom we should be dependent. Because they will ask at the Goloka door, oh, from who, from where you came, whom you want to meet. I want to meet Krishna. Then they say bye-bye. You need to tell who, which person sent you there. Everything you should have, the details. Because those persons are there inside, because you'll be serving them. Through them only you'll be serving the Lord. Dear devotees, this dependency will never be removed. Please understand. Even after going to the spiritual world, this dependency is not removed. The dependence levels are changed. Now we are depending on the material nature. The entire world is dependent on the material nature. Do you understand this? Entire world. But they don't know. They are dependent. Entire world is dependent on the material nature. Whatever material nature gives happiness, that is happiness only they know. Through senses, if a person is getting happiness, who is giving that senses? Material nature, na? From where is he getting happiness? Material nature, na? What is he doing? Where is he doing? Where is he getting all this thing? Everything is through the material nature. That means what is he doing? He is actually indirectly dependent, but he doesn't know. That's why it is called as illusion. He is doing that, but he doesn't know what he is doing. That's the problem. He's actually staying there. It's a problem actually. That's why when the Urdhva Madhasaka, when the transformation of the heart is done, just like Arjuna, heart is transformed. The transformation of the heart is done from the sadhaka. Then what happens? His dependency from the material plane to the spiritual plane is revealed. Likewise, Arjuna was desiring for the best. That's why Lord gave him the best. Even though he was bewildered, but he knows he wants the best. That's why he took the shelter. Please understand. How do we know that Arjuna desire is the best desire? Not now, because he is surrendering. Through that surrender, we know that Arjuna is the best. because his desire is the best, because he wants the best. That's all we know. Because what is he giving? He's giving, he wants the best. That's why he's looking for the best source. Who's that best source? Krishna. And what is he doing? He's surrendering. What is he getting? Divya Jnana Hridaya Prakashito. That means the transcendental knowledge is revealing in the heart. That's how through that energy, through that strength which Lord has given, that's how he fought the battle and then he was victorious. That means who is fighting? Krishna is only fighting. Through whom? Arjuna. But who is getting the glories? Arjuna is getting the glories. Likewise, who is doing all these temple creations, all these things? Who is inspiring all of these personalities? Krishna is only doing. Krishna is only sending all his followers to Srila Prabhupada. But who is actually doing? Srila Prabhupada is doing. And who got the credit? Srila Prabhupada got the credit. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada, what he did? He just followed what his spiritual master said. Because Krishna is immensely pleased with that service. Hare Krishna. So this is it's very important. Bhakti depends on our desires. We do not have desire, we should pray for that desire. Hai tuki aparhita yanatma suprasidati. That is our life actually. We should aspire for that. Because this consciousness only will take us to the spiritual world. My spiritual master was recently telling, I do not have any aspiration to go to the spiritual world because I never felt that I should. I'm a deserved candidate to go to the spiritual world. Somehow, I think I have to be here only for some lifetimes. That's what he's saying. What is this? What is the consciousness? The person who is actually speaking every day, who is giving all the revelations, that person is telling we do not have any qualification. Whoever is hearing, where do we keep our heads from them? There is nowhere to keep our heads. Through humility, he'll kill everyone. Through his consciousness, he'll change everyone's heart. This is what Nityananda Prabhu did. Now, what did Nityananda Prabhu did? If Jagaya Mada is coming and hitting on his head, Nityananda Prabhu said, you hit him more, but you take Krishna. But you chant Hare Krishna. Krishna Prem, this will remove everything from your heart. Again they are hitting. Again you say, no, you chant Hare Krishna. This is for Balramji, Adi Purusha. And the first expansion of the Lord, that a person is taking the beatings. You see how much compassion they are manifesting. Because in the Kali Yuga, everyone is Kalo Sudra Sambhava. No one has higher qualities like Arjuna. Everyone is Kalo Sudra Sambhava. To give that personality is the consciousness of, which is the highest consciousness. There's no highest than this, dear devote. Again. Even Vaikuntha is in the next realm only. After Goloka only Vaikuntha will come. Goloka is the topmost. Because the way, how do we know that Goloka is the topmost than Vaikuntha? Because the way the reciprocations with the Lord and the devotees are unique in Goloka. Nowhere else you'll see that. Do you see any pastimes where Lord Narayana is doing intimate affection with his mother? I don't see that. But only in Goloka we see that. There's so many things like that. That's why it's the topmost. That's why Acharyas are coming here. They're giving us the topmost thing. So please understand this. And then we should all be ever grateful to this. We should be indebted to this, what we are receiving. Hare Krishna. Thank you. As nobody's at home, that's why I extended myself. Thank you. I can continue, but I'll stop here. Anyone else would like to add anything? Stop it here.
Prabhuji, if you still have time, one more very important. At least I get this conviction all the time. The association, and I mean, we hear the class. Yes, we contemplate throughout the day, but then that that continuous contemplation or the inspiration to what we sincerely hear and try to apply, have that desire to apply what we heard throughout the day, is only possible if we are around sincere souls who are going through the same process. So it's very, otherwise it's very, very hard, as you said in the start of the class as well, the morning program, morning, that shelter throughout the day. Yes, we will have, through the mercy, through when we attentively here try to apply Tadvitti Pranipatina and Pariprashnaya. But that unless that service in the association of the and surrounded by the sincere souls again will be lost. Yes, we can think like, okay, it's another situation that Krishna is placing us in, but then somehow or the other we have to come out of it. We have to proceed further. We have to take a decision and so forth. So I just wanted,
Cultivate that desire. You should cultivate that desire.
yeah,
You should aspire for that desire. Pray for that desire. Because if Arjuna was not desiring to see who they are, just take the situation. Let's say Arjuna did not say Tsene Rubhe Madhya Radham Savitam Achyuta. Arjuna bola hi nahi wo. Do you think Krishna took, would have taken Arjuna to the center of the battlefield? No, he wouldn't have. Arjuna would have stayed there. Do you think Arjuna would have heard Gita again? He wouldn't have. But it is his qualities, it is his desire. It is, yes, it is his qualities and desire which actually pulled him, which actually called him to, you go. Invoking came into his heart. So he's looking for that. Remember, my spiritual master said, I opened this dham, which is called as Nilgovinda Dham. And then he said, Nilgovinda, I named this dham as through your name because this dham, all sincere souls should come and then practice Krishna consciousness. So whoever is sincere, they will aspire to come. Whoever really want to practice Krishna consciousness without any duplicious, without any, calculations, without any karmakanda conception in their heart, they will come. They will practice. If there is one person practicing, if one person is going to the spiritual, that means our mission is successful. And then he said, this dham is established so that through this Brahmanas are protected, cows are protected, women is protected, elderly people are protected, children are protected. Because all of these are the five which lead us to the community. So those has to be manifested. Who are sincere, who are really aspiring for Krishna consciousness, they will come and then take the shelter. Just like Arjuna asked that question to Krishna. That is actually showing his desire to really see who the other persons are. Very personal actually. It's just not doing just like that. It's very personal. That's why it's important. So it depends on our desire. It depends on our way to practice this process. It depends on what kind of association we are taking. There are different levels of association. There's weekly association. There's monthly association. There is festival association. There is Diksha association. Depends what we want. क्या चाहिए अपने को? What we are aspiring in this life. Based on that, Krishna will reveal. Whatever we aspire. If you are aspiring for pure devotion, you need to find that place to practice the pure devotion. And then do that. Yes, association is very, very important. Who said association is not important? It's the most important. Actually, that is everything. Through that association only everything comes. Very important. We are independent. We have our free will. In whatever way you are using our free will, we get the destination. For sure. For sure. I think I did one of the best choices. I selected one of the best choices to coming back to India. I'm very happy doing it. I don't have to work for any software company. I don't have to sit for a manager. I don't have to do my weekly reports. I don't have to manage my team. I don't have to see whether they are working or not. I don't have to do any of those things. I'm very happy practicing Krishna consciousness. And I'm not looking for name, fame, profit, adoration. If you tell me don't come from tomorrow, I'll stop from tomorrow. I have no problems. If you say Prabhu, it's too much, both हो गया, एक साल हो गया ना. You stop Prabhu from tomorrow, don't come. Stop today only. I have no problem with any of these things. My only problem is, am I pleasing my spiritual master? That's my only problem. If I'm doing that correctly, then everything will go correctly. Because it is his conviction only which brought me to India. But it is his faith only which brought me here. It's because his faith only which kept me to the state of which is actually telling what is surrender. I'm not surrendered. Actually, it is telling. This is what you need to aspire for. So it's all because of his mercy. Bhakti is not only actually. That is bhakti. Trying to see that my mother is calling. I'm very fortunate actually. I'm very fortunate. I'll tell one more thing. My mother and father, they're getting initiated. So after, I think they practiced Krishna consciousness for like 13 years. They're getting initiation. I think since 2013 they're practicing. So after 13 years of practice, because in India it will take time. So and it will take even more time, but they are elderly. So she's calling. So she'll speak to me something. So I'm very happy that they're getting initiated. I hope I'll go and see them on the day of initiation. What's more I want? My aunt, she practices very nicely. Family are practicing. My only desire is my children and whoever is coming in the association of the spiritual master, if they are practicing nicely, then that's for this life. Do not have any other desires. No desire. Hare Krishna. Again, I said, it depends on our desires, what we are aspiring in our life. If you are looking for name, fame, profit, adoration, wherever you are, you'll get that. But if you are really looking for pure devotional service, I'll tell you I know the address. I'll tell you what you'll be doing. Everything. I know everything. I know the address. I know what service you'll be doing also. Everything is there. It depends. It's now, everything is there. For Gajendra also, everything is there. He could have surrendered in day one only, but he waited for 10,000 years. Because he's thinking, I can do it, I can do it. Krishna says, okay, that's okay. Take your time, take your time. So, take your time, figure it out, and do the best, what suits you. Hare Krishna. Is that okay? Simple.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much. And congratulations to Mataji and Prabhuji for
Yes.
the initiation. Yeah, what no other satisfaction other than being close to the closed ones. Yeah, and that to parents.
My desire is to send them to the spiritual world.
Hari Bol.
I want to be with them when they are leaving the body. I don't want dollars. I want them. I want them. At least if these two personalities are going to the spiritual world, my life is successful because they gave me birth now.
Yes, Prabhu.
They did so much to me. I see so many devotees running behind so many things, but they don't try to see who is there next to them. They run behind to expand. और लाएंगे बड़ा temple बनाएंगे. For whom? Make one devotee who wanted to give his life to the mission. One devotee, not about. That's what Prabhupada says in the preface of the Gita. One devotee. One devotee wants to surrender. The temple functions, they do not have these things. They do not aspire for this. If the temple heads are not aspiring this, what to speak of persons who come to the temple? Where do they go? I remember my spiritual master telling, where is the problem is? The problem is with the leaders. You see, Kali Purusha, they work with the leaders. Please understand. First Kali Purusha, they break the leg of the leader. If the leader is not convinced, then whoever is coming under him is not convinced. If he's running, he'll also tell whoever is coming under him, you also run. Because I'm also running, you also run. But he's convinced with Bhagavad Gita teachings. Then he will give that conviction to whoever is hearing from. Oh, this is a secret actually. Very important. Everyone says that, oh, Krishna consciousness we practice, Diksha ho gaya na, abhi ho gaya, Bhakti ho gaya, Bhakt ho gaya. Who is talking about lust, greed, anger, and falsehood of pride? Who wants to come out of this? Nobody wants to come out of this. Now my mother, since many years, she's telling, should I take initiation or not? They're telling initiation. I'm not qualified, I'm not qualified. How can I take initiation? I'm a sinful person. That's what she says. I'm not good. How can I take initiations? I said, this is a qualification to take initiation. Krishna, Krishna. That's why the attitude is very important in practicing. The leaders are not showing the path. There's a problem not with the hearer, the problem with the leader actually. This is what my spiritual master told. This is a fact actually. But there are some great leaders, and whoever come and take their association, they will also be benefited. I know some very nice leaders in our movement. Only few. They get benefited through that association because they aspire for pure devotion only. They don't look for name fame. But to get that kind of association is also rare, na? Very, very important. Not putting anyone down, nobody's mistake. That is what they are associated with. Do not have any ill feelings to any one of them. But we need to understand what is good for us. And we should do that. Very important. Hare Krishna. Is that okay, Amma?
Yes, Prabhuji, definitely. We have to check our heart, the qualities that Krishna likes, because our
The
goal.
person should show the qualities. He should reveal everything through the process of hearing. Everything has to be revealed. Then only Divya Gyan Hridaya Prakashita will be manifested. So we should be very sincere with our heart. Ourselves, we should aspire for that. As I said, right, different personalities have different desires. So whoever have those desires, they will go to that place. Depends on the desires, it depends on the heart. It depends. One time a devotee was telling to the spiritual master, he said, oh Prabhu, I can't do this. How can I do this? I can't, my heart is not accepting. Are a 22-year-old child, he took association with my spiritual master for like 10 years. He came to my spiritual master when he was 8. Now he's 22. Almost like 14 years of association. And then now that child, he got married when he was 20. And then he's 22 now. And my spiritual master is telling you do Garbhadan Samskar. He says, my heart is not accepting. I can't do this. I can't engage. It's like bodily relation. This is difficult for me. How can I do this? I'm hearing truth every day. How can I do this? Are, she's your wife? No. She's wife, but they don't come together because they are having higher taste. When I first met my spiritual master, he said one thing. You know what he said? He said in the class that there is a devotee, she's telling, is there any other way to have children other than husband wife coming together? They don't want to come together. See how much faith, conviction they have in the process. These kind of devotees we have in our community. Then the moment I heard that, I should take his association board. From that point of time, I started hearing from him every day, years, every day. He never actually. And that person is telling, I don't want to go to the spiritual world because I have so much service here. How can I go to the spiritual world? Just imagine this kind of leaders we should have in our life. So beautiful. He doesn't tell you go and run behind these things. He doesn't tell you bring money, you bring this, you do this, you bring that. He's simply dependent. Then everything is happening in the community. Not that community, there's nothing happening. There's so many things happening. I did not tell anything. There's a lot of wonderful things happening in the community. There's a beautiful school. 500 to 600 students. The income is generated. The generated income is used in the service of cows, used in the expansion of the community. And then the devotees are all the teachers are devotees, they don't take salary. They take little salary for their maintenance. Their salary is also used in the service. They are also completely selfless. They get up early in the morning, they chant their rounds, attend Mangalarti. They hear class for 1.5 hours. They run to the service. They come back evening, again they hear the class, they sleep. This is their life actually. What is this? This is Krishna consciousness. Perfect. That means, please understand, all these devotees have been hearing every day. See those conviction levels. This Mataji is telling, I want to have children. This is a way so that husband and wife shouldn't come together. This same child today, he was also telling that. Please understand, they're getting higher taste. Vyavasat Vishaya Vinay Vartanti Naira Aharasya Degino. Rasavarja Rasopisa Paramdishya. They are living this sex life is a waste product actually. Waste thing. Husband and wife coming together is waste of time actually. Unnecessary waste of time. Waste of energy. Even for Garbhan Samskar, they're not planning to come. And he's writing in the letter, finally, I somehow, because I want to please you, I am doing this. He says, how is this world doing this? The 22-year-old child here, what is speaking all these things? How is the world doing this? How is the world running behind this sex life? 50-year-old, 60-year-old persons, they wanted to increase their sex appetite. They take medicines. Just what nonsense this world is. Where is this world heading? Dogs, cats, they are also doing that. What is the difference between human beings and dogs and cats? Should be higher. This human form of life should be for higher things. Dear devotees, these things will only be spoken to the person, these things will only be spoken who's actually following this. Do you see any grihastha telling these things? Tell me, dear devotee. Do you see any grihasthas telling? Or preachers? Tell me. Nobody will tell this. Tell me, Ma Sushilpa, please tell. Did anyone he told you like this?
No,
Have you
Prabhuji.
heard the classes like this before?
No, Prabhuji.
No, you're not here. Not here. Nobody will speak these things. Only who's falling will speak this. That falling will come through Shravana. Please understand. And Prabhupada likes that Shravana. That's why he says Nashta Praya Shabhadrasha. Why all the temples are not doing Shravana Kirtana every day properly? That's why they're engaged in sex life. If Shravana Kirtana is there, there's no sex life. It's gone. Because they're getting higher taste. What is this? Unnecessary thing. Unnecessary waste of time. Now that Prabhu, 22-year-old boy, is telling, this is waste of time discussion. What is this? Only for Garbhadana Samskar they are coming to it. And then he said, I chanted nicely. I depended on the Lord. And we did that act. That is also Krishna conscious. Actually, this is the life of Krishna conscious, dear devotees. Very, very, very important. Brahmachari, they restrict, they don't have association with the wife. But Grihastha is, they have wife, but they don't do it. This is even more difficult, please understand. And Brahmachari, there is no wife. But Grihastha, he has nice wife, wonderful wife, but he doesn't associate with her in that way. He doesn't see her in that way. He doesn't have that consciousness. So many times I tell my wife Mataji sometimes in between, I put myself down, why am I telling like this? Mataji comes, Hare Krishna. We do not have that relation. We're peaceful, practicing Krishna conscious. I know so many devotees in our community doing that exactly as is, following the instructions of the spiritual master. I also asked my spiritual master, should I do Garbhadana Samskar now? I asked my spiritual master, he actually told us to do Garbhadana Samskar. That's why this deep relationship should be established with the person. Then only we can follow this. Then only we, otherwise there's so much karma. How much karma is coming? All these unnecessary things of this world, the glaring effulgence of this material nature. It will put us in a difficult state. Actually, I remember many years back, I cried in front of my spiritual master's, the person who took me to my spiritual master. I cried to him, thank you for showing me this path. I'm indebted. Bhakti is that only, dear devotees. There's nothing else other than this. Bhakti means pure devotion only. There's no hodgepodge devotion. There's no mixed devotion. Who said there is mixed devotion? The material nature is cheating us. There's no mixed devotion. Only pure devotion is a devotion. If we cannot do that, we should have that association to do that. If you can do that, that's well and good. If you can practice pure devotion alone, that's great. But if you cannot do that, you need association. Now, I cannot do that. That's why I took. That's why I'm taking association. It's very important. If you also aspire for that, yes, you should have that association. Very, very important. Very important. Krishna. Anyhow, this body will be gone, dear devotees. This body will be eaten by jackals. This body will be eaten by the earthworms. This body is burned, then this body is actually being eaten by the Agni. Anyhow, this body has to be gone. What is the point? What is the point in wasting this valuable human form of life unnecessarily for sense gratification? When I read that letter, I was amazed. I was joyful. Wow, this is what we want. This kind of devotee we want in the community. That devotee does service day and night. Every day he does. He stays in the farm, he takes care of the cows, he does agriculture. Very nice soul. This will be his last life in this world. Hare Krishna. Thank you. I think I extended, I spoke something irrelevant also. Please excuse me.
No, Prabhuji, thank you so very much. Please don't leave us. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Amma Baswati, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. If I spoke anything wrong, please excuse me. Hare Krishna. Yes, Srila Shravu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. So very well. You said all the wonderful nectar comparing Arjuna and Gajendra and our situation. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for reminding us every day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.